What is your American dream?
The American dream, if anybody works hard enough, they can do anything they want to do, right?
I want to see the American dream afforded to everybody, regardless of their race, sexual orientation, or anything.
I do feel like I have reached it, and it's very close to my personal mission in life, which is to write the stories of my comunidad and to use my voice and any success that I have to help lift up their voices and stand up for the stories of my comunidad and to use my voice and any success that I have to help lift up their voice.
Welcome, everybody. We are live on YouTube. Sorry for the delay. We had some issues with Facebook, unfortunately. Still ongoing. With shows got to go on. Nevertheless, those on YouTube who double fist, tell the squad to come over to YouTube, at least temporarily, until we get our Facebook up and going. Yadadin, Yo-Yo Elias, Vanessa.
What's up?
Nesquik Contreras. You know what's up? Not Facebook.
I know, I see.
You know, Facebook is not up. Facebook down.
Dang.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Not squad up today.
It is the first time ever in the history of Brad Show Live that Brad Bernstein and the Pumpkin agree on the same thing. Boo Facebook! Boo Facebook! First time ever.
You don't want to say that too much, just in case we do get back up, you know.
Yeah.
Today.
Well. Again, me and the Pumpkin would agree again. You know, if Facebook allows us back on, we'll give him a thumbs up, and I bet you Pumpkin will fall back in love with Mark Zuckerberg once his Facebook ban for 2 years is over. Hopefully, we're not banned on Facebook. We're just having a little technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
our technical difficulties will be over soon.
Yes.
But in the meantime, me and the Pumpkin down on Facebook. We're very down on Facebook right now. All right, how you doing, guys? Everything good?
Everything is great.
Everything's great,
Yes.
but for Facebook.
Always great.
Exactly.
But for
Except that.
Facebook. All right, let's say hello to the squad on YouTube. Top Cat, squad up. Westman, how are you? Denise Johnson, squad up. How are you? Squad up. Jean Love, Maxine Gowie, Carlos Estrella. What brand squad? What brand squad? I don't even know what that means. Well, what's up, brand squad, maybe? I said Jean Love, Jeremy Goldberg, Poetry Thursday. It's Thursday, and we're all aglow with one more day of the week to go. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Brad Show, because he'll tell you all you need to know.
Ooh.
As long as you're watching on YouTube. Because on Facebook, you won't see us.
Right.
He forgot to add that on the poem.
I liked it though.
You know what rhymes with Facebook?
What?
I don't know. Crook, duck, sook.
They took
He took
hook.
hook, nook, rook, cook,
Zook.
zook.
As
Zook.
in.
You know, it's not that easy to make a poem. I'm trying to make a poem.
That's why I think we should go easy on Jay Rhymes sometimes, man. He's really and a weekly thing, a weekly commitment to us. Thank you,
I
Jay
agree.
Rhymes.
You
It's
know,
pretty damn dope.
we're down on Facebook because the boss is named Zook, and he suck. No, Zook and suck don't match. Don't rhyme. I don't know.
Man,
I'm trying to come up with a.
crook.
He's a crook for not putting us on. He's not a crook. He's
Too
just
bad we're not squad up on Facebook. No thanks to the crook.
yeah.
Make
maybe.
sure you look
Make-
on YouTube.
That was good until the end.
Yeah, where'd the ending?
Where'd the end come from? You had the ook YouTube.
Jay
I don't
Rhymes,
know.
we
It's a
need
call
your
to
help.
action. Focus.
We need your help,
It's a call to
Jay Rhymes.
action.
It's a call to action. Let's say hello. Shan squad up. 29 Super C squad up. Adams 808. How are you? Beautiful World saying hello. Verona Williams. Yolanda S. Tolly. And who else we got here? 29 Super C. Marlon 1818 TV. Up. All right, guys. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready for some schmoozing?
Absolutely. All right, squad, please remember to share. This is on YouTube right now, but obviously we definitely want people on Facebook to share once we get back up as well, because we're going to start schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines and immigration news, including how guns in the U.S. are affecting migration to the southern border.
And it's Thursday, squad, so get ready for some wacky world news, including what fishermen in Yemen caught that was worth $1.4 million.
Wow. And you could also call Spar and Bernstein at 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, it's +1 212-227-8933. You call that number that I just announced, you're going to get on our show. We have open lines right now. So if you call, you will get on our show in about 20 minutes. I'll answer 25 minutes. I'll be answering your immigration questions. And later in the show, we're going to hear from Spar and Bernstein client about her immigration journey to the United States from Jamaica and how getting her green card has helped her to achieve her American dream. And Yo-Yo and Vanessa?
Yes.
Ready
Let's
to
start
schmooze? Let's
schmoozing.
do it.
Let's do it.
I had a delay there. I thought you say schmooze it with Brad, but maybe I say schmooze it with Brad. It's one of those days. It's one of those. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
That we're all here to schmooze with Brad.
We're all. Meanwhile, this is a very interesting study came out that I wanted to talk about with guns and immigration. You know, when you think guns and immigration, you think, oh, there's an immigrant and he's, possession of a gun, they're committing crimes, they're shooting people. That's not what I want to talk about, because that's the only thing that people think about when you think about guns and immigration, right? Mm-hmm. You don't really think about guns and immigration another way. And it all came up. I started reading about this when Vice President Kamala Harris was visiting Guatemala and Mexico to meet the local leaders and to help address the root causes of undocumented migration. People, migrating up from Central America through Mexico, running across the border without inspection, those without visas. Now, the agenda on Kamala Harris's trip was economic development of Guatemala, of Honduras, El Salvador, Mexico. We even talked a little bit about it the other day. Nesquik and I, Yo-Yo was kind of agreeing. Food insecurity, housing insecurity, strengthening the rule of law in many of these Central American countries as well as Mexico. Because people, when they're leaving these countries, their ultimate destination is the United States. Mm-hmm. Now, we've talked about in the past, this is all going to come full circle, 1 second. We talked about in the past how also people are leaving because of violence, right, Nesquik? We said, violence is more, there's violence everywhere, but we were talking about El Salvador, Nicaragua, being more of a violent countries, Guatemala more economic insecurity. Now, according to Doctors Without Borders, 62% of people who arrive at the Mexican-United States border to either apply for asylum or try to sneak in without inspection say that they have experienced violence in their lives in the last 2 years. That's 6 out of 10 people. Wow. Now, what's interesting is that 3/4 of families with kids arriving at the border, 75%, 3 out of 4, say they're leaving their countries because of violence, including forced recruitment by gangs, which was a key reason for leaving. Now, where does this all come back to guns? Well, 70% of all the firearms seized by law enforcement in Mexico, 42% of the firearms seized in Guatemala were purchased in the United States of America. So here we have a situation where people are leaving violent countries, being forced to be recruited by gangs. And yet the violence is coming from guns, purchased in America, smuggled down through Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua. People are terrified. They leave because of the violence, and then they come to the border, and then the United States has to hire men with shields and badges with guns to stop them from coming in. Pretty ironic, right?
Yeah.
Now the flow of guns into Central America, it's known as the Iron River, and it's vast. According to Mexican Foreign Ministry, 200,000 guns are trafficked from the United States into Mexico each year. 500 illegal guns purchased in America, most likely legally, smuggled into Mexico illegally. Now, United States doesn't publish each day. 500.
Yes, each day, 500 each day.
Legally purchased, smuggled across the border. Now, the United States doesn't publish any of these, statistics. And although gun smuggling did not really hit the news in terms of Vice President Kamala Harris's agenda, a spokesperson for the State Department did tell CNN that the State Department is committed to working with Mexico to reduce the amount of illicit firearms. BS. Nobody's doing anything about guns. Nobody is doing anything about guns.
It's not a priority for them.
Yeah. Now, Adam Isaacson, Director for Defense Oversight at the Washington Office for Latin America, a research and advocacy organization based in the United States, says he believes that the fiercely debated issue of gun control in the United States is one of the main reasons why leaders spend little time on the issue of guns being trafficked abroad. Okay? So nobody is going to say, stand up for gun control and then say, I'm going to stand up for gun control because I'm worried about violence in another country. We can't even get gun control for violence in America.
Right.
But it's the violence of legal guns purchased in America, smuggled across the border, that scares migrants to come to the border, that we have to spend billions of dollars building walls, hiring guys with shields, scaring the hell out of everybody, making them feel unwelcome, and sticking a gun in their face saying you can't come.
Right. That just, when you say it out loud like that, it all comes full circle.
It's full circle. Now, another reason is that most gun regulations, they're different from state to state. And federal officials responsible for foreign policy, international relations, they don't have any influence on what states sell to who and when. Some states are very lax gun control, other states much different. So let's talk a little bit about gun violence here in America. Okay, mass shootings and gun violence took the lives of 16 people last weekend, 40 wounded across the United States. Last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, in 2 days. 5 people were killed in a weekend of violence in Chicago. 8 people were killed in mass shootings in Oregon, Indiana, Utah, Michigan. A high school student was killed in New Jersey, all with guns.
Yep.
8 people were wounded at a graduation party in Cleveland. In Miami on Sunday, right where you are, Nesquik, 2 cars pulled up to a graduation party around 2 a.m., opened fire on a crowd in a parking lot as people were leaving. 3 people dead, 5 injured.
Yeah.
Miami-Dade Police Director Freddie Ramirez said this is extremely frustrating. Every weekend, same thing. Now, more than 8,600 people have died from gun violence in the United States this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive, with over 260 mass shootings. In May alone, gun violence is up 23%. So people pass gun control laws. Well, there was a gun control law that was passed in California, banned people from having an assault weapon. Okay, what does anybody need an assault weapon for? That you could shoot 20, 30, 40 rounds in several seconds. Multiple shots. I mean, who are you hunting with this? Okay, you don't need 40 bullets in 6 seconds to hunt Bambi. You don't need
that part.
Right? You don't need 40 bullets in 6 seconds to protect your house. So,
I feel like people just like what they like. People like what they like, even if they're things that they don't need. I feel like I didn't have as many firearm conversations until I moved down here to Florida. And some people just really, they like what they like. Like the conversation of guns is just so casual. But do you guys feel at whatever point in time there's a way to have restrictions on what kind of firearm folks can purchase? I don't know if that'll become a thing ever.
I don't know. Well, in terms of the assault weapons, California, let me give you this example. California passed a bill, no assault weapons. Seems pretty reasonable, right? Well, that law was overturned this week when a federal judge said that the assault weapons ban is illegal. In his ruling, he wrote, like the Swiss Army knife, the popular AR-15 rifle is a perfect combination of home defense weapon and homeland defense equipment. Good for both home and battle. Huh? An AR-15 is like a Swiss Army knife. That's what he put in his decision.
No, it's not.
Governor Gavin Newsom said in a statement that the comparison, and I'm quoting Governor Newsom, completely undermines the credibility of his decision and is a slap in the face to the families who've lost loved ones to this weapon. He called the AR-15 a direct threat to public safety and the lives of innocent Californians, period. Attorney General Bonta called the ruling flawed, said it's going to be appealed. But that's just what happened in California. In Texas, this past week, the legislature passed a bill allowing Texans to carry handguns without having a license or any training.
Oh, wow.
This even as law enforcement groups vocally opposed the measure. Texas Governor Greg Abbott claimed that the bill was the strongest Second Amendment legislation in Texas history. This was the Texas lawmakers' first gathering since 2019, when 30 people were killed and dozens more injured in back-to-back mass shootings in El Paso. Now, the tragedies back in 2019 moved many of the Republican leaders in Texas to express uncharacteristic openness to gun control. At the time, Governor Abbott, who just praised this new bill that you can carry a gun without a license or any training whatsoever, he swore back then, in 2019, we're going to do everything we can, I'm quoting him, to make sure a crime like this does not happen again, proposing a slew of policies to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. The lieutenant governor of Texas at the time famously said he was willing to take a bullet from the National Rifle Association in order to pursue stronger background check laws. Well, 2 years later, they did the actual opposite. The actual opposite. Now, what's frustrating is that it's not even talked about. It's not discussed, which is why we're discussing it here.
Yeah.
Now, current law requires Texans to be licensed to carry handguns openly or concealed. Applicants have to submit fingerprints, complete 4 to 6 hours of training, and pass a written exam. Now, just go buy a gun. And you don't think that these people from across the border are going to come buy guns, smuggle them back to Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador? What about the DR where you are? Nesquik, where you're from. Not you are, but where you're from. What about Jamaica, where a lot of our squad's from?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, 3/4 of Texans are against this, yet it still passes because the Republicans control Congress in Texas.
Golly.
Okay? So when people say, my country's dangerous, it's dangerous to be where I am, I have to leave, who's making it dangerous? I would argue, based on what I just talked about, who's making it dangerous is us Americans. Making other countries dangerous by allowing people to come here, buy guns, not only making our country dangerous, making other people's countries dangerous. You can buy a gun in Texas now without anything. No license, no training, nothing.
No training.
Nothing.
That's wild. No
So
license,
if
no
you don't need
training.
the license and you don't need training, you don't need ID. Just go buy a gun. Buy as many as you want. Go buy 30, go buy 50, go buy 100.
That's crazy.
And then brought to other countries. Other countries become dangerous. Not that they weren't dangerous before, but
Right.
you know, how dangerous can you get with a knife in your fist? Okay, you know, so these guns, we just read the statistics. More than 50% of all the guns in Central America and Mexico are bought legally in America and brought across the border. And then everybody's leaving their countries because of the violence, comes up here and gets stopped at the border by other Americans with guns pointing it at them and a big wall. It's crazy. If you think about the irony and craziness of all of that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a 30-year-old mother in El Paso, Texas, she was arrested this week after posing as her daughter at a Texas middle school. She says she did it for better security. Casey Garcia, this is a crazy story. She's 4 feet 11 inches tall. She weighs 105 pounds. And she was arrested on one count of criminal trespass and tampering with government records in El Paso. Deputies were notified Tuesday by San Elizario Independent School District that Garcia trespassed on the school grounds and posed as a student. In a YouTube video titled "Why I Posed as My 13-Year-Old Daughter, a Raw But Real Answer," she says she dyed her hair, used skin tanner, and posed as her daughter. Garcia said that after she was asked for her ID at the school and whether she had signed in, she was allowed inside the school. She said school staff was more concerned about her phone being out than who she really was. She says, quote, "I bet you anything someone else can do this. This is why I did this, whether you agree with me or not." She later says, "I think the deal breaker for me was actually walking in and posing as a 7th grader. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but it wasn't hard. And they made it all through all 7 periods."
Damn.
She went through entire, she looks 30, she looks 40 to me. Okay? But she certainly doesn't look like 13. Okay?
With the makeup and the outfits, you know.
She made it through 7 periods of class the entire school day. Nobody asked who she was, sitting in the class posing as a 13-year-old.
That's horrible.
Finally, at the last period, after the class was over, last period of the day, one of the teachers asked her, "Hey, Julie, can you stay after class?" And she said, "Absolutely." And then the teacher looked at her and she said, "You're not Julie." Finally somebody. So, you know, she was able to get away with it because all the students had to wear masks over their face too. Right. All right. So when they found out she was not Julie and she was Julie's mother, that's when the police came. And she said she was doing it to prove a point about the lack of security in the schools.
But I feel like she did prove it.
And we have a little bit of her video. Let's watch a little bit of her video.
Okay, I'm in. Uh-oh. Hello.
All right, maybe she can pose like as a 13-year-old. She looked more 13 there.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the mask, though. If it weren't for the mask, I don't think it would have been this.
Yeah. All right, so
that sounds like a wacky news right there.
That was wacky news a little bit. Now, Tuesday's Justice Department. We're gonna pass on that. Let's talk a little coronavirus. But isn't that with the guns? I think that's really interesting. No, yes, maybe.
No,
with
certainly.
like Texas.
Just the whole thing that guns that bought legally in America, brought to Central America, brought throughout the West Indies, Jamaica, DR. Which
adds the reason why
adds to the reason of the violence that forces people to leave and try to sneak into the country.
Right. And like when they come here, they can't get in. You know, it's almost like it reminds me of just like, you know, how corrupt the government was when they put like the crack pandemic, just threw it in the, you know, in the lower poverty neighborhoods, and then, you know, threw them into jail for having it. So it's like it's kind of like, damn, you guys are creating the issue, and it's ridiculous to me.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the top cat says she doesn't look 13 to her. I thought in the video she looked 13.
In the video she did with the mask.
Yeah.
And then the hoodie, you know, the baggy hoodie, looking like a little girl.
Yeah. Carol's not convinced.
She's not convinced.
Yeah.
She would have spotted her first period.
Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about COVID. And there's a problem with traveling now. And the problem with traveling is that the airlines are saying there's a lot of fake certificates being submitted to the airlines that people are COVID negative when they're not, especially when you're flying international. Flying domestic here in the United States, you don't need to prove, that you have a negative COVID test. But flying from other countries into the United States, you do. And now many in the airline industry are saying that they're being bombarded with fake documents, and it's now up to an untrained airline employee to determine what's a real document and what's not a real document. And I can tell you, as an immigration attorney, forging a COVID certificate's got to be, I've seen people forge passports, and they look pretty good. And they get through immigration. So, to me, forging a COVID certificate's nothing. So, airlines that cross borders, they're very concerned, saying their staff, as I said, are not equipped to handle and police all the new health certificates. So they're pushing for a digital health pass that people can store vaccine certificates and the results of their COVID-19 tests and antibody tests and make it easier to track the veracity of their documents. Here in New York, they have something, I don't know if you downloaded it, Jonathan, the Excelsior Pass. So if you took a COVID test in New York State, I took a vaccination in New York State, you can download an Excelsior Pass with a QR code on your phone rather than walk around with your paper card. And that QR code allows you into various venues. For example, the Barclays Center for the Nets NBA playoff games were only allowing, you would have to have that.
I'm going to get that.
Yeah, so you have to download it on the, you have to go to Excelsior on the website. I downloaded it. Now, a lot of people don't like this. So this is the problem. Because they don't want the government to have their personal data. They don't want the government to know more about them. But to me, government already has your personal data.
If you have a phone.
You have a phone, you have a driver's license, you got a passport. They got your data. Okay, Big Brother knows everything about you already.
Everything.
So I'm like, what are they going to know about me that they already don't know? I'm happy.
I'm not worried about that.
I'm not worried about that at all. So the airlines want to do the same thing. They want people to have QR codes. You could still hack into apps and, but I would assume it's going to be much more difficult than giving a piece of paper that says, you're COVID negative or you've had the vaccine. A lot of states, a lot of Republicans, they're against it. They're against having this pass.
I'm not against it.
I could care less. I'm like, to me, the government already knows everything about me anyway. What's the difference?
Right.
I got nothing to hide. What do you think, Vanessa? Would you download it?
Yeah, I'd have to get vaccinated first, but I would download it. If it's an easier way to get in and out of places without being complicated, this is just like the world we're transitioning into, so.
Yeah, look, I have mine. It doesn't really say much. You can come closer. This is mine. Whoop. There we go. Yeah. What does it say? It says my name. It says I was vaccinated, and it's good until my date of birth. So everybody has to know how old I am. And
I'm okay
and
with
says it expires March 9th, 2022. I have no problem with that.
Overthink new things and new concepts and new rules. Like, they already know everything.
Yeah. Now, Himmel Clark says he has the Excelsior Pass, and it does have an expiration date. We'll see what happens with that expiration date because nobody even knows how long these vaccines are going to last in your body.
Right, right.
You know, we don't know when, you know, maybe they're good for 10 years, you know, and then all of a sudden the past will change. I don't know. We don't
Right.
know the answers to that. We got to get to some wacky news, though. Let's get to some
Let's
wacky
do
news.
it.
All right, so the world's first floating transparent pool is opening in London, England. Who wants to swim in this thing? It's called the Sky Pool. It's suspended 115 feet above the street, and it stretches between the 10th floors of two buildings in the Nine Elms neighborhood in southwest London.
That looks crazy.
They built a pool, and it's between two buildings. That looks very crazy.
Cool.
That looks like a cool pool. Now, it's only open to residents. This is a residential building. It's only open to residents who live in the building. It holds 50 tons of water, features a rooftop bar and spa, provides the ultimate sky-high package for members. It was built by structural engineers Eckersley O'Callaghan. Announcing the launch of the project, Embassy Gardens shared an Instagram post boasting about how the pool is filled with 148,000 liters of water and allows swimmers to float 35 meters in the air between two residential buildings. 35 meters is how many feet? That's about 170, it's about 110 feet, 120 feet up in the air. It's about 12 stories up.
Oof.
That's
Yeah,
scary.
that looks cool.
Would you do that? Would you, that's a pretty good selling point for that building, huh?
It is. It is. I think that's pretty awesome.
I think that's kind of cool.
I would do it.
I would do
We'll
it. I would do it too.
Yeah.
Until somebody
let's go-
until
do it,
somebody
Fred.
does until somebody does a cannonball, breaks the bottom, and we all go right down.
Well, why'd you have to do that? I just wanted to maybe cannonball or just float. And then
Right.
you say things. Kills the vibe, Brad.
Meanwhile,
It definitely did.
I was just thinking like somebody could like drop something on the bottom, go do a cannonball, break it, and everyone just goes crashing through. No,
That'd
That'd be a crazy lawsuit.
because it's glass. I mean, you got to see on the bottom or plastic or
Right.
something, right? It's not like steel. I don't know.
Sure, engineers got it.
I'm sure they do. Meanwhile, the fishing
Right.
crew, you mentioned this at the top of the show. I was curious what the fishing crew got in Yemen, because I don't read this wacky news ahead of time. They landed a rare 280-pound chunk of whale vomit. Huh?
What?
Wait.
What
Reading.
what does Scooby-Doo say, Yo-Yo?
Is that good?
Yeah, right. So I'm supposed to say they landed a rare 280-pound chunk of whale vomit. Exactly.
What's in the whale vomit?
I don't even know what this
but
is.
how-
I don't know. I got to keep reading.
How is it worth 1.5 mil though?
I don't know. A 35-person fishing crew captured a sperm whale's carcass while fishing in the Gulf of Aden. Due to the overpowering scent of fecal matter, they determined that the corpse likely contained what's known as ambergris. The pungent, waxy substance is produced in the intestines of sperm whales. Ironically, it's historically been used in perfumes as it contains an odorless alcohol that makes fragrances last longer. But ambergris is so rare and therefore so extremely valuable that perfumers now usually use synthetic replicas of the naturally occurring alcohol. When the crew cut into the belly of the whale, they uncovered a big chunk of the floating gold. The men sold the odorous glob off to someone in the UAE for $1.5 million.
That's crazy.
You know, when UAE, that's Dubai, they're very well known for making perfumes and fragrances, not like manufactured in a just a guy sitting around making perfumes and selling them as individual bottles, not like a
Right.
big manufacturing plant. So I
Right,
could
right.
see somebody in Dubai
Buying that.
buying that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, to whale vomit. Would you like a little tester of ode to whale vomit?
Not ode to whale vomit.
Ode to whale vomit. Not ode. Yeah, right? What do they? How do they say it? Ew, yeah, how do ew? Yes. Now, it's illegal. By the way, it's illegal in the United States.
Oh.
Yeah, it's illegal. Oh. Yeah, because people, I guess, were trying to kill whales to get this scent.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the people from Yemen, if they wanted to, they can invest in Hong Kong parking spaces. Not parking lots, parking spaces. Because in Hong Kong, this past week, set a new world record for the sale of a parking spot in a parking lot. A spot in a lot went for a hell of a lot. Poetry Thursday. Guess how much? Guess how much?
How much?
Vanessa, how much?
For a spot.
Yes.
Okay, let's speak dollars, and it has to be wacky.
Right.
I don't know.
Take a shot. Take a shot, Vanessa, on how much the spot. It cost a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna say 50,000.
Vanessa, this is Wacky World News Thursday. Would we spend our time on Wacky News Thursday talking about a $50,000 parking spot? Let's think again.
We talk about $1 million whale vomit. Like anything goes here.
Let's think again. I mean, come on, Vanessa. Take one more guess.
Am I renting this monthly? So much pressure.
One more guess, Vanessa.
Go a lot higher.
A lot higher.
Yes.
$1.3 million.
Wow.
$1.3 million. The parking space at the luxury.
You're up and down, so whichever parking level you want to go to.
No. You get a spot in a lot.
I'm telling you, people just be having money and throwing it. People has money and just throw it. Use it for anything.
It is 134 square foot parking space. It is in the luxury Mount Nicholson residential project. Hong Kong's luxury home market has seen record-breaking transactions as buyers' confidence is coming back. Now, the owner of the spot, Johnny Chung, previously sold 3 spaces for $969,000, but never has it gone to $1.3 million.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wacky.
Where's this This is crazy. That is super wacky. Not even gonna ask all the things I'm wondering.
Oh, I didn't know we were gonna do something about Dracula's castle in Transylvania.
Take us there.
Had I known, I would have shown you my pictures from Brad being at Dracula's castle in Transylvania.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I was there. But nobody came and did anything to me. It was just a castle. But right now, at Dracula's castle in Transylvania, Romanian doctors were offering a shot in the arm rather than a stake through the heart. By the way, there is a Bank of Transylvania as well. And, you would think Transylvania, that's where, Dracula's from, But I don't understand when I passed the Bank of Transylvania, why the lights were on at night. Why were they at work there at night at the Bank of Transylvania? People were working there. Why do you think? I don't know. Now, a COVID-19 vaccination center was set up at Dracula's castle. Every weekend through May, vaccination marathons were held just outside the 14th century hilltop. It's a real castle. It is a real castle in Transylvania. Those are receiving the Pfizer vaccine shot received a vaccination diploma, which is aptly illustrated with a fanged medical worker brandishing a syringe.
Oh, wow.
You can go to see Dracula's castle and get your vaccine.
I like that picture.
All right. And finally, we have to get to our immigration questions. Vanessa, I have a story over my pocket square, and I have a story over the schmoozing. Which one are we going to do? Pocket
Schmoozing.
square?
I did
Schmoozing.
pocket square the last time. Schmoozing.
Schmoozing. This one. Nope, this one. That was schmoozing, right?
Yes.
Schmoozing is
one.
this one, right?
Yes.
All
yes.
right, let's see what it says. Brushes and cans of paint lay strewn on the gallery floor under an abstract painting gave a pair of young visitors to a soul art exhibition at a gallery in Lot World Mall an idea. They thought this must be one of those art projects that engage with the audience. They each picked up a paintbrush, added a few dark green strokes, not knowing that the $450,000 painting was already finished. Alarmed by the defacement, the organizers of the exhibition called the police, reviewed surveillance footage to track down the couple who said they mistook the setup as an invitation to collaborate. It was not. The display of paint and brushes was part of the artist's installation. Now, American graffiti artist John One, who painted the graffiti-style piece, was initially shocked. He said, "What is this shit?" Then he told Vice World News he realized the misunderstanding by watching the video. But then the artist said in the email after the incident caused multiple global media reports. With just 3 brush strokes on my canvas, they had managed to cause a planetary buzz. There's some strength in all of this. So at first, the artist was mad. But when he got all this publicity for somebody defacing his artwork, he didn't mind it. He said, "It made me think about how in today's world we're all so closely linked, and I hope someday to have the opportunity to drink tea with them in Korea," adding that he might even thank his uninvited collaborators. The painting, titled Untitled, is estimated by the exhibition organizers to be worth $450,000, a valuation that speculators said could go up because of this unexpected incident.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And that's what's happening in Wacky World News. Now, we're going to get to our Braducation. According to the New American Economy, a national bipartisan immigration research organization, immigrants tend to be more entrepreneurial than the rest of the United States population. In 2019, immigrant entrepreneurs made up 21% of all business owners in the United States, despite making up just over 13% of the population. So for all our entrepreneurial viewers out there, in today's Braducation, I talk about incorporating a business and all of the basic information you will need to start the process. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward: to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Incorporation Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you'll want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. For many entrepreneurs, incorporating a business is the best way to protect themselves and their owners and shareholders from personal liability for the business's actions and debts. So is a corporation right for you? Well, there are pros and cons to forming a corporation. The most common pro is that incorporating a business limits your personal liability for business obligations, meaning you protect your assets, such as your home or vehicles. Another pro is that a corporation's ownership is contained in shares that are easy to transfer from one owner to another. And unlike a sole proprietorship or general partnership, you can pass your corporation on to someone else if something happens to you, unless you decide to have the corporation dissolve upon your death. Now, here are the cons to incorporating. It costs money to set up and dissolve a corporation, and corporations have additional record-keeping and annual reporting requirements that sole proprietorships and partnerships just don't have. Another important thing to check before deciding to incorporate is how it will affect your taxes. If after you've considered the pros and cons and you decided to incorporate, you'll need to prepare articles of incorporation and file them with the state. Each state has its own rules about how to incorporate, but here's some basic information you're going to need. Number one, you will need your business name. Now, rules about businesses' names vary, but most include these general guidelines. Your business name must be different from the name of any other business entity registered to do business in your state. There are also restrictions on certain words in a business name, and your business name must end with incorporated, company, corporation, or an abbreviation of one of those words. You need a business address. Your articles of incorporation must also list the names of some of your decision makers. There are two types of decision makers you will probably have to identify: incorporators and directors. In addition to the articles of incorporation, you'll need bylaws that will guide the way your corporation operates. You will also need to know who the owners of the corporation are. The owners of a corporation are known as shareholders, and they own shares of stock in a business. In your articles of incorporation, you'll most likely need to specify the number of shares of stock your corporation is authorized to issue. But you shouldn't have to list the names of the shareholders. However, your internal corporate records should include your shareholders' names and the number of shares of stock issued to each of them. The articles of incorporation must also specify a street address within the state of incorporation and a person located at that address that can receive legal documents, notices, and lawsuits on behalf of the corporation. The address is often referred to as a registered office, and the person at that address is referred to as the registered agent or statutory agent. In most states, your business location can serve as the registered office, and a corporation or anyone aged 18 or over can be the registered agent. If you don't have an office in the state where you incorporate, or want someone else to act as an agent on your behalf, you can always hire a professional registered agent. Once you have this basic information organized, you'll be ready to start forming your corporation. Good luck on getting incorporated, and I hope you make millions. And you can watch more Braducations on, guess what, OnlyFans TV. That's right, I am fully clothed, giving free advice on OnlyFans TV, all of our Braducations on OnlyFans TV. Our first lawyer on OnlyFans ever. I can always, no matter whatever happens in my life, I can always walk around, say, I was the first lawyer on OnlyFans. All right, let's get to, you got a question, I got an answer. Hopefully I have an answer. All right, let's go to Olu in Chicago. Olu.
Hi, hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Very well. Very well. So my question is, I came into the country in 2019, and I tried to change my status from B2 to F1.
Right.
Right. I did that before my 6 months expired. So I came in June. I was supposed to leave by January, so I did that in November. I didn't get COVID happened in 2020. I didn't get any response. The response I got in July was an NTA. Right. I hired an attorney to cancel the NTA. So in March of this year, I got married, right? And then she could not cancel it, right? My attorney could not cancel it. She said,
let me stop you there. There's no such thing as canceling NTA. Okay, there's nothing.
Okay.
No one can cancel an NTA. What you can do is you can, notice to appear. There's no such thing as I'm going to cancel it. You have a notice to appear. Guess what? You're appearing. You're appearing at a deportation. Now, when you go to a deportation, you can request not to be deported because you're married to a U.S. citizen and want to adjust your status. But there's no such thing as I'm canceling it. There's no such thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was always communicated to me, right? Oh, I'm going to cancel your NTA.
No, there's no such thing as that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
She filed the petition, I-130 petition for spouse or relative.
Right.
And then that happened, and so I got a response this week from her saying, she's going to charge me like $10,000 to $15,000 to appear in court for me. right? And I think that's ridiculous because I already paid last year, and I just think that I just feel like that's a ripoff, right? Because considering my status in the country, I've not been able to work and all of that stuff. So my question here is it wise to represent myself in court, or
No.
after? Oh, okay, but having gone this far, can I just terminate this and get another attorney?
You can hire any attorney you want. You should not be representing yourself. And just for the sole purpose that you said I wanted my NTA canceled, you don't even know what the right words to say in court are. So you absolutely should not be representing yourself. This is your life on the line here. What she asked for was not completely unreasonable. That seems to be the going rate these days. But maybe you can find a less expensive lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Right.
My last question: What are my chances? Do you think I have any chance of success in court?
Your I-130 was approved?
I-130, no response yet.
Okay. If your I-130 is approved and you're in a bona fide marriage, you will adjust your status in court.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So in court, I can either get the judge can either say, "Hey, we'll go home," and that's it. Continue with your process.
No. What will happen is this: A, you got married after you got put in removal, so hopefully you requested what's called a bona fide marriage exemption. You have to prove beyond a doubt that you and your wife are in a real bona fide marriage, which is you live together, you have a financial relationship. Once that I-130 is approved, you can then request adjustment of status before an immigration judge. The immigration judge is going to interview you to make sure that you're not inadmissible, that you are a person of good moral character, that there's a good affidavit of support, that you don't have a criminal record, that you haven't committed fraud. There's lots of reasons why the judge could decide not to grant your adjustment of status, including his own personal discretion that he doesn't even like you, because it's a discretionary decision. All right? So you have to be a likable person of good moral character. And have a good affidavit of support and not committed fraud and not have a criminal record. And then the judge will grant you a green card, for sure. If your I-130 is not approved, then you're looking at deportation.
Okay. So I can either get the immigration judge in July when I go
You're not going to have a resolution in July. Because you're going to go to the judge and you're going to say, I have a pending I-130 visa petition. The judge can't grant you a green card unless you have the I-130 visa petition approved. So the judge will say, okay, come back next year. We'll schedule it again. Hopefully by then you have your I-130 approved.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. All right.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's go to Alfonso in Racine County, Wisconsin.
Hi, Bart.
How are you?
I'm good. So my question is this. So I would like to know for my case if I need the waiver. And I'm going to give you the brief what happened with my case. So I first came in the United States as student visa. And then I applied for asylum. And now I got married with a U.S. citizen. So I would like to know if I need the waive here.
You came on what type of visa?
F1 visa.
Okay.
Like student visa.
Why do you think you need a waiver?
Because I never attend at school. So
okay. When did you apply for asylum?
The same year I got in the United States.
Okay, so how come you didn't? Well, now the question becomes, how come you didn't go to school?
Because money. So I got more the financial issue.
Well, the answer is you may need a waiver, and it comes down to this: you don't need a waiver because you didn't go to school. You may need a waiver if there was fraud involved in you not going to school. Meaning that you had the intention in your mind to come to the United States on this student visa, and you knew when you were coming in through the airport and you were presenting that student visa that there was no way in hell you were showing up to school. If that's the case, that's fraud. That's visa fraud. You said you were coming to be a student, you weren't. If you came, you had every intention of of going to school. You come into the airport, you got your books, you got your school bag, you got your pencils and pens. You're all excited to learn. You go through the airport, and then weeks later you find out that the money you were promised didn't show up, or or whatever, or something happened, whatever it may have been. Well, then that could be a different story because you had the intention of going to school and then something happened. Okay? Now, I have no idea. I just gave you two scenarios. And the bottom line is you're going to explain what happened to an immigration officer at an interview, and they will either say, okay, there's no fraud, you don't need a waiver, or they're going to say, that's fraud, that's visa fraud, you made a misrepresentation, you said you were going to be a student, you never had the intention of being a student, you need a waiver. So it's going to be fact-based, and it's going to be discretionary-based because the officer has to make a decision, did you commit fraud or you did not commit fraud?
Okay. So here's the thing. I came to, my intention was to go to school, obviously, and everything changed when a couple weeks after, before the school started.
But again, this is your story. That's fine. You know, you asked me, do you need a waiver? You can tell me your story till the cows come home. Okay? You didn't go to school. It's up to the immigration officer whether you'll need it or not. You tell the truth. And hopefully the truth, you didn't make a lie. All right? And if you need help, hold on.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Onika in the Bronx. Hi, Onika. Hi, Onika. Onika. All right, somebody get Onika on the phone. Let's go to Lisa in Queens. Lisa.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Brad, I wanted to ask you, what year does the USCIS reach now? My mother petitioned for me. I'm in the F1 category. I only got a receipt notice. It was from
what year?
Petition 2016.
Okay.
I'm not sure, like,
have
what
you gone,
year
have you gone online to see what the status of your case is?
No, I don't know what to do.
You don't know what to do. They're right now up to November 1st, 2014. But if you haven't heard anything, maybe you should.
I only got a notice.
Okay. You should go online to the USCIS website, uscis.gov. Type in your receipt notice where it says, I don't know. I got to look up again now. You go to USCIS. I'll do it with you right now while you're live. USCIS.gov. Make sure you go to Gov. Okay. And let me find USCIS.gov. Oh gosh. You know, this Bing is the worst. I don't know why Bing comes up instead of Google. I have to go to Google. Here, USCIS.gov. All right. So you go to USCIS.gov and you go to Tools, and you go down to Tools, and somewhere in Tools is Case Status Online. You click on Case Status Online. You type in, it says enter a receipt number. The receipt number is on your receipt notice, and see what it says. Okay? And then call me back tomorrow on the show. You understand?
Thank you so much.
USCIS, go to Gov. If you USCIS.gov, go to Tools, go to Check My Status, type in your case status, and then let me know what it says.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's go back to Onika in the Bronx. Onika.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good evening. So I have a question. So my husband became citizen in March of this year, and we filed the paperwork in February. Do we need to upgrade his citizenship online?
Yes, because they have no idea that he's a citizen. One hand doesn't know the other.
Okay, and I have another question. So my husband basically up and leaves me since he got his citizenship. If I divorce him, do I have to do a VAWA or something? Because we filed for my son in Jamaica, do I need to redo a I-130?
All right. So you have three choices if he left you. Okay. You can divorce him and end your case with him and end your son's case, and then find some other way to get a green card. That's option one. Option two is you can go find him, get him back in the house, make nice with him, fall back in love with him, he falls back in love with you, and you had a rocky part of your relationship and you're back together and move forward on your case. And when you say I have to file a VAWA, no, you don't have to file a VAWA. You only file a VAWA if you would qualify for a VAWA. A VAWA is a Violence Against Women's Act claim. It means that you were physically abused or you had extreme emotional abuse. Otherwise,
yes, which I am been going because I've been married for over 2.5 years.
You've been what?
And yes, I've been married for over 2.5 years. I recently filed the stuff. It's basically, it seems like I'm in the marriage by myself. And where I was living at, I just recently moved because my daughter was getting like sick by the house with lead. So basically I'm in a homeless shelter and he said he's not helping me with anything. So I am going through it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it seems like there's certainly financial abuse by him of you. And you're in a shelter and you're in a bad situation. But even if you're in a shelter, the people in the shelter should be able to assist you in filing a VAWA claim, or you can, have a consultation with me if I don't know if you have money or not, though. It's your issue.
I am the brokest.
You're the brokest broke. Okay, so what you would do is there's a non-for-profit that can assist you as well. People in the shelter should be able to point you. There's different groups like Safe Horizons and HIAS. You can Google them online. They have free attorney help for VAWA victims, so you can try that as well.
Okay, and with the VAWA case, it will definitely help me. And do I have to redo my son's case?
Yes, a VAWA case would get you a work permit, and it would get you a prima facie if you're able to prove all the elements of your VAWA and help you get government assistance.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Did I point you in the right direction?
Okay, thank you.
I hope I did. Okay. Let's go to Myra in Atlanta. Myra.
Yes, hi, Brad.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I have two questions. I just filed for my N400, and I'm having my interview coming up in 2 weeks. And during the application, I had put no for criminal record. And 3 days ago, I realized that citation, like traffic citation, have to be shown, have to be presented. And I didn't know that because I didn't have a criminal record. Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and, hold on, I can barely hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I haven't said anything yet. That's why you don't hear me.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening.
Yes. So I did some research. I've been listening to your shows lately a lot. So I decided to go to the court and get a predisposition letter.
Fine.
I requested one, and I have two. I had two citations, traffic citation, and one misdemeanor back in 2008. So
what was the misdemeanor
my question,
for?
It was like for a petty crime.
And what happened with the case?
I went in front of the judge. There was no jail involved. I went in front of the judge and pay a fine, like $280.
Okay, all right. I was about to say, don't worry about the traffic infractions, but if you want to bring them, you can. But now you have a misdemeanor that you didn't put down on your application. And by the way, it's a petty offense. What was it, shoplifting?
It was a long story. Like two friends of mine was involved. Yeah,
was it shoplifting? Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't need the long story, but it was a shoplifting thing. Yeah, so if you have a shoplifting situation and you just paid a fine and they said don't do it again, and you got the slap on the wrist, you got to bring that disposition. Bring your other traffic infractions. When you before you sit down with the immigration officer, what you want to tell the immigration officer is that you made an error on your application. You brought the dispositions with you, and you want to do that before you get sworn in and say you haven't, everything on this application correct. The answer is no, it's not correct. And you want to correct that application now. And you still have good moral character because it happened 12 years ago. But you're going to walk into that interview, you're going to walk out without a decision because you're now changing the situation around. They'll look at it for a little bit, and hopefully in a few months they swear you in.
Oh, so they're not going to give me an answer right away?
No way. Not when you're changing your story at the time of the interview. But certainly you don't want to lie, and you're entitled to become a citizen, so eventually you will.
And there's no way I can put those information before the interview date?
It's in 3 days. Where are you putting it?
No, it's next week.
It's next week. Where are you putting it? You have to bring it to the interview now.
Okay.
All right.
I have one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Before I was married to a U.S. citizen, and before we got divorced officially, I had a child while we were separated, and I guess that's an issue of moral character as well. But the fact that it's been over 5-7 years, would it be a problem?
You had a child. I don't understand the question. Say it again.
Yes, I had a child that was born right before our divorce was pronounced.
You got a child with another man?
Yes.
Okay. I would have to look at the timeline between when you got your green card, when you went for interview, when your child was born, backtrack when you would have gotten pregnant. We would have to take a look at that. I would suggest you have a consultation because it seems like you have multiple issues. You don't want to have your green card taken away for immigration and marriage fraud. You had to tell the truth about a misdemeanor. I think you need a consultation at this point. All right, hold on. Especially you're in Atlanta, where they are the toughest of all the immigration offices in the entire United States of America. And I've represented people in every state and every city. I will tell you, point blank, Atlanta is the toughest one of everybody.
Oh wow! So the fact that I had my tenure before that child was born.
I don't know. You're asking me questions now, okay? That I would have to look at a timeline. Okay, you're asking me to figure out whether or not there is a marriage fraud because you gave birth to a baby that was not your husband's around the time you were getting your green card. And my answer to you is we need a private consultation.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's go to Kamal in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hello.
Hi, Kamal.
Hey, Mr. Brad, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, sir. My question is, I've been entered USA 8 years ago by Mexico border, and my immigration judge, he terminated my case, and it's like 8 years ago. I've been never attend my immigration court date, and same time I have been my hiring an immigration officer. So they've been telling me your case is terminated, and they issue with me I-94. So what should I can do now?
I have no idea what you can do. What I understand is you didn't appear at a deportation hearing, yet your case was terminated, and they gave you an I-94. The only reason that could ever have possibly happened is if the judge realized that they didn't serve you properly at the beginning. I would need to review your records and see. What you do now, I don't know. It sounds like you're now assuming, based on what you told me, it seems like you were now inspected and you're here out of status. That's what it sounds like to me. So how do you get a green card? We got to figure it out. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right. Mohammed, how are you?
Hi, Brad. I just wanted to confirm the answer which you gave me. I'm a green card holder, and I got my green card on April 18th, 2017, and I got it through my parents, U.S. citizens. So which is the date I can apply for citizenship?
When did you get your green card in 2017?
18th April, 18th April.
April 18th, 2017.
Yes.
And you're over 21, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to apply 5 years from April 18, 2017 is April 18th, 2022. You can actually apply 90 days before that. So that would be March 18th, February 18th, January 18th, add 3 days, 19, 20, 21, January 22nd, 2022, you can put your application in.
January 22nd, 2022.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
You're very welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Let's go to Manny in Los Angeles. Manny.
Hello?
Hi, Manny. How are you?
Hello?
Manny, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Brad?
Good. What's going on?
Man, I just want to tell you, can you run for a president?
Maybe one day. You never know.
Man, you'd be a badass president.
Thank you.
Advising people at the same time, immigration and running the country. All I want to say, I'll vote for you.
Thank you. You're about the fifth or sixth person that says they would vote for me. I have about a half a dozen votes so
My
far
whole
for president.
family is like saying that we all gonna vote for you.
Oh, now I got a dozen votes. Thank you very much. Just need
no problem, man. That's all I want to say.
70 million more people. All right. What can I do for you? What's your question today?
That's it. That's all I want, man.
Run for president.
I watch your show.
Brad 2024. Why not?
That's right. That's right.
Thank you very much, Manny. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, man. God bless you.
Thank you. All right. Victor in Houston. Victor. Victor.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Hi, Victor. How are you?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah,
Can you
go
hear
ahead.
me?
I hear you.
Good. Hi. And thank you for everything. Hey, and I just want to say that my mom, I don't know if Jonathan is connected. My mom and my little sister, they love Jonathan. My sister want to marry Jonathan. Thanks for everything you guys are doing for us. I have a question for you, Brad.
Yes.
How are you today?
Good, good. What's going on?
So just to tell that to Jonathan, then my little sister want to marry him. Okay, I have a question, Victor. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you.
Hello?
I listen to you, Victor. Victor, I got you. I'm hearing. What's the question?
Okay, in 2016, yes, just got married in 2016 with a U.S. citizen, and things just didn't go well, and I feel like it was not about love anymore. It was just more like marrying me for my money because we used to be at the same job.
Right.
And actually, when I stopped working, because I didn't file for my paperwork because I was not sure if she was the right one, so I didn't file for the paperwork, and a year after, when I filed for the paperwork, her true face just comes out, so I decided to divorce her. I decided I don't want to be married anymore.
Fine.
Because at this point, it's just more like, you're here for the money.
Okay.
And kind of like divorce, and just went back home on the Midtown. I went to the immigration.
Where you from?
Because my parents was not feeling well, my dad. So they get, hello?
I'm listening, Victor. I was asking you where you're from. Victor,
Hello?
Victor, why does Victor keep cutting off?
Oh yeah, originally I'm from Senegal.
Senegal, okay. So I understand you got married.
I think it's the phone.
All right,
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Victor, hold on one second. We're gonna get you straightened out, and then we're gonna come back to you. Okay? Someone straighten out Victor. We'll come back to him. John in San Francisco.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Hi, John.
Today?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I just have 2 questions for you. I wrote them down so I don't waste your time.
Sure.
Okay, the first one is I have a friend, he's a green card holder, and he's trying to bring his girlfriend, who he wants to marry, here, right? She's in Brazil. The question is, he applies a K-1 or he applies it directly to her green card?
He has to marry her. You can't bring a girlfriend.
Yeah, he will.
So he has to
Brazil,
go.
right?
He has to go to Brazil, marry her, and file an I-130. You can't do a K-1 as a green card holder.
But where does he file it? With the consulate, NVC?
No,
or?
he files it with the Chicago lockbox.
Sounds great. Okay.
Right.
Second question is,
yes.
My friend got a straight 10-year green card because he was married for more than 2 years, right? But the date that shows on residence since is the date of the marriage, not the date that he was approved.
All right. Well, then they made an error on the green card, so he should just file an I-90 for replacement.
Okay, so because he was trying to apply his citizenship, and I told don't do that because they're gonna catch you throughout the process,
No. I mean, in the system, the day he's granted, in their computer system, trust me, they got the right day he was granted his green card. Somebody printed it wrong on the green card.
Okay, so he shouldn't apply citizenship before he's due anyway.
No. Should do it based on what is the real date, not what's the date on the green card.
Sure. Okay, yeah. I knew it was misrepresentation. I just told him.
Right.
Okay, the third question is, my friend applied for the global entry, got approved, but later on he was like, dude, I think I made a mistake because it asked there, because I've done it myself, it asked her, have you ever violated any immigration law? The only violation he had was a B2 overstay. So since he got approved, you think he kind of lied without knowingly, or you think it's his fine?
I mean, worst comes to worst. What's his status now? He has a green card. He's a citizen.
Yeah.
What's citizen?
No, he has a green card, but he applied for a global.
Yeah, I mean, the worst comes to worst is they take his global entry away. They say, sorry, you don't qualify. But you know, yeah, he should have told the truth. But I don't think that's a crime if he misunderstood the question.
Yeah, because I don't think. I know he didn't do it knowingly.
The worst they'll do is they'll just deny him or not.
Okay, but that they cannot be say, well, you don't deserve your green card anymore because you lied on a federal application for a global.
No, they're not gonna take his green card away. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good, brother.
Right.
Have a nice day.
You
You're
too.
the best, man.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Well,
let's go to Fareed in Dallas, Texas. Fareed.
Hi, Brett. How are you?
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you for your show. I have a question. So I filed for N400, and I had my interview a month ago, but I did not mention that I had an arrest because the case was dismissed. So I didn't think I had to mention it.
Why didn't you think you had to mention it?
Because it was dismissed.
That doesn't matter.
So, so I wasn't aware of that. After that, I did my research and I knew that I had to add it at that time. So in my interview, they asked me about it, and so I told them that it was dismissed, and they said you have to bring your disposition. So I have sent it to them online. So I just wanted to see where I stand.
Well, hopefully it was more than 5 years ago. You're a person of good moral character, and they didn't feel that you were trying to hide that from them, and you'll become a citizen.
Hello?
Yeah, I just answered the question.
Sorry, say it again. I lost you for a second.
Okay. So I said, hopefully it happened more than 5 years ago. You're a person of good moral character, and they feel that you didn't try to lie or hide it at your interview, and you were honest and upfront with an error, and then you're fine. You become a citizen.
It was in October 2016. So I think it's a little bit less than 5 years.
All right. Well, as long as, they can always say bad moral character if an arrest happened within 5 years. But generally, if the case is dismissed outright, one bad day doesn't make a bad person. But again, it's their discretion. You have another issue where you're trying to hide something from them, or were you just making an honest mistake? I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. So as long as they believe you're making an honest mistake and you weren't trying to hide something from them, it appears based on what you told me that you'll be a citizen. If you're not, they deny you for whatever reason, call me back.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you very much. Bye.
Let's go back to Victor. Victor. My friend Victor in Houston, how are you? Victor. Victor. I hate to do it to this guy. His whole family loves me. Victor, come on, I want to help you, man. Going once for Victor.
I'm back
Victor,
here.
you're back. Okay.
Good. Okay.
So I heard the first part of your story. Let me repeat it for those who
can you hear
forgot.
me?
I hear you, Victor. Let me repeat your story for those who may forgot. You're
Yes.
from Nigeria. You're from.
Yes, we do. Hello.
Victor, listen, Victor.
I'm back.
We got to get Victor straightened out. We'll have to talk to him another day on the show. Adam in Chicago.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah. Hey, how are you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
I do. What's going on?
Yeah. I just have a really quick question. I applied for my OBT through school, and then I applied for adjustment status, and there is a work authorization as well. So right now, if you look with the USCIS, there is 2 applications for work authorization.
Right.
Under my name.
Right.
So do you think should I leave them both?
No. You no
Or
longer.
should I
Once you file the adjustment application, you're no longer on a student visa. So that work permit through OPT is no good. Not valid. You're not on a student visa. You don't qualify for it anymore. So withdraw it
Do you recommend me to withdraw it?
Yes.
Or just leave it?
Withdraw it, write a letter. I have a pending adjustment. Please withdraw my OPT. And you don't qualify for it anyway.
All right, so you recommend me just to send a letter to
yes,
Chicago lockbox?
Yes. Dear sir, I filed an adjustment of status. That is my intention to get a green card. If I have an intention to get a green card, I can't be on a student visa anymore. I thus no longer qualify for an OPT work permit. Please withdraw it. That way you don't have any misrepresentation issues. All right?
Okay, got it.
All right.
Got it.
Good luck. All right. And by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered on our show, you can always follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein, you can drop me a DM and I'll be happy. Don't do this to me, guys. With the, thank you. You could always drop me a DM with a message. I'll be happy to respond if I can. Sometimes it takes me a couple of days. So you follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. You can also follow me or follow our show on at Brad Show Live. At Brad Show Live on Instagram, you can't handle 2 hours of us, but you can handle 2 minutes. Follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. You can also follow us on TikTok for the best speed rounds, every speed round on TikTok. People love TikTok. It's our fastest growing social media platform. Follow Brad Show Live on TikTok as well. And Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And later in the show, we're going to be answering your questions in our social media check-in, your issues, your problems. So please leave your comments, issues, problems, questions now. Jonathan and Vanessa will be asking it of me very shortly. And then later in the show, we're going to hear from Spar Bernstein client and small business owner about how obtaining her green card changed her life and how she obtained her American dream.
And now it's time to hear some of the personal immigration stories people have shared with us through the years. Check it out.
I was born and raised in Mexico City. My mom is an anthropologist. My father is an opera singer. So I always was like in between. And I fell in love. So I moved to New York and I said to my mom, I'm sorry, I know that I'm supposed to be coming to New York with a scholarship to do whatever, but I came because I fell in love.
I was born in Queens, New York. My mother emigrated here from Barranquilla, Colombia when she was about 3 years old. So she's very much, ingrained in the American culture. She grew up with a lot of American television shows. It's always been this very kind of American viewpoint, everyone coming together under one proverbial roof.
Somebody paid for my way here. I got scholarship for graduate school, and when I finished graduate school, they came and recruited me for a job. My employer applied for my green card, and I got my green card.
I came here about 15 years ago. I learned English about 13 years ago. My whole family is here from my dad's side, and my mom's side, they're still there, so I kind of feel for the both. Being here means a lot, mostly because of the opportunities that you get. Very happy to be an immigrant in this country.
All right, let's get into something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, first 5 are coming from Brad Squad VIP members. In order to become one, just go on Facebook. In the search engine, put in Brad Squad, join the page, and you can put your comment in anytime throughout the day, and we'll take the first 5. Now, Reggie Murphy is the first. How long does it take for someone to get an immigrant visa interview in Jamaica?
Depends who's sponsoring you. So, and depends where your case is in the processing. So it's an impossible question without knowing anything about your particular case.
Denise, Dennis Johnson Green, another Brad Squad VIP member. I'm a citizen who filed for my husband in Jamaica and have been approved since November 4th. He's waiting on an interview date, but his police record is older than 6 months now. Should he do a new one or wait until he gets the appointment date?
Do a new one when he gets, do a new one now. The question is police certificate that he submitted to immigration, to the National Visa Center. I misunderstood the question maybe. I apologize. I'm mumbling now. Go repeat the question because I only heard the last part of it.
Okay.
I was trying to answer it, only hearing the last part of it, so I apologize. Do it again.
I'm a citizen who filed for my husband in Jamaica and have been approved since November 4th. He's waiting on an interview date, but his police record is older than 6 months now. Should he do a new one or wait until he gets...
Wait till the interview. Wait till the interview and let them ask for a new one.
Okay, Lawrence and Dibby, a Brad Squad VIP member. At what point in an adjustment of status interview should I tell the officer that an error was made on the I-485 form before the interview starts, or when I'm asked as I progress in the interview?
When the interview starts.
Pape Samuel, another Brad Squad VIP member. If my mom becomes a citizen, will it end up my case? She's a green card holder. I'm over 32 and live in Jamaica. My I-130 is already approved at the NBC with my 5-year-old son as accompanying listed on my petition. The case was filed in 2017 and got approved in 2020. What changes will occur towards my case if she becomes a citizen?
It'll speed it up about a year.
Okay, Max Up, 54 AM Blessed on YouTube. I rent a house for my grandkids. Is it a problem with me getting my green card condition removed? I am still living with my husband, but he didn't want to put his name on the rent.
No, it's not a big deal as long as you can prove you live with your husband in other ways. I don't hear you, Vanessa. I don't hear you. I still don't hear you.
I'm not.
I still don't hear you.
Okay, I'll try it.
Okay.
Adams8008 Mo, YouTube. I applied for OPT through school, then I applied for my workout reservation through adjustment of status. Do you think that they are going to cancel each other, or should I just withdraw one of the applications?
Withdraw the OPT. I think I spoke to him on the phone just now.
Okay, excuse me?
I spoke to him, or he called on our show.
Okay.
Can I check if I'm good now? Do you guys hear me now?
There you go. Yep.
Mario Valtierra on YouTube. What's the update in the new immigration memorandum of motions to reopen an administrative closed case?
The new policy is that unless you have a criminal record or you are a terroristic threat, that the government should look very favorably on those type of cases. So this is a good time to reopen cases. It's a good time if you don't have relief and removal for prosecutorial discretion.
Okay, Kimberlyn Burris on YouTube. Can my affidavit who lives in a different state from me scan and email the I-864 form completed with her signature to me, and then I mail it to USCIS, or am I required to mail the...
You need an original signature. It's called FedEx Overnight It.
Sam Bath Krishnashwami on YouTube. Where can I find sibling family-based backlog numbers till date?
Google Visa Bulletin, and on Google, and the first thing that'll pop up is travel.state.gov/Visa Bulletin, and that's where you find it.
Kyra's Little Hearts on YouTube. I'm a 2022 DV lottery winner from Nepal. Do you think 2022 will be a good year?
I hope so. Better than 2021 for sure.
Abdel Sabari on YouTube. Do you feel that the immigration process is getting better and faster?
No, I don't.
Proud Mom on YouTube. I had a petty theft misdemeanor with no jail involved, but at my court date, I pleaded no contest and paid a fine. Today, I requested a disposition from the clerk of the court to take with me to my naturalization interview. Since I said in my naturalization application that I don't have a criminal record, how do I present the letter, and do I have to take all my traffic citations to the interview as well?
I already spoke to her on the phone too for about 10 minutes and told her what to do. Next question.
George Cabrera on YouTube. Is there a way to help aged out children? My nephews are 3 years over the CSPA and the priority dates are not due yet.
Let me calculate the Child Status Protection Act and I'll tell you whether they qualify or not.
Mama Tan on YouTube. I'm married to LPR with a valid I-94. I didn't apply, but I've been out of status for 2 years now. What is the best course of action? My spouse is applying for N400 next year.
Say that again?
I'm married to a LPR with a valid I-94. I didn't apply, but have been out of status for 2 years now. What's the best course of action? My spouse is applying for N400 next year.
File an I-130 now, because there's no guarantee that your spouse will become a citizen. If he becomes a citizen, wonderful. You'll upgrade the I-130 and adjust your status here. And if he never becomes a citizen, at least you have an approved I-130. You'll do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back.
DB on YouTube, my friend wants to know when she will receive her EAD after applying for VAWA and adjusting of status concurrently. She received the biometrics appointment and prima facie.
Hopefully about 6 months after she filed. 2 more.
Katie Jones on Facebook. When should I apply for my 10-year green card if my 2-year green card expires November 2021?
August 2021.
And last.
I don't hear you again, Vanessa.
Last one from Marcia Saunders on Facebook. How long does it take for a U.S. citizen daughter to file for her Jamaican mother?
About 12 to 18 months. And with that, Tracy Reed is the owner of Lionheart Natural Species on Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn. Tracy is originally from Jamaica, got her green card through Spar Bernstein. We visited her at her shop where she told us about her immigration journey and how obtaining legal status in the United States has helped her in all aspects of her life. And I called it Lionheart Natural Spaces. It is Lionheart Natural Spices. Makes a lot more sense. So let's watch her video about her entrepreneurship and obtaining her green card.
My name is Tracy Reed. I'm the owner for Lionheart Herbs and Spices. I've been in business for the last 18 years. My parents are from Jamaica. I was born in London, England, and raised in Toronto, Canada. I came to the United States in 1999 to start my own business. When I got here, I was very enthusiastic because I knew New York was already culturally diverse and very strong. Not having a green card posed a lot of different challenges. Even though I came with a lot of ambition and motivation to start my own business, there was a lot of store rentals, but because I didn't have a strong credit history, it was very difficult. I had acquired a tax ID number from the government in which I used to conduct my business. So I came across the store, and at that time the owner agreed to rent me this premises for commercial purposes, and I was very excited. You know, I had my tax ID number. When I got the store in July, everything seemed to be fine, the ideal space. By the first winter, I realized that everything wasn't so great because one day I went to flush the toilet on a cold day in January, and the toilet was frozen as ice. Not only that the toilet wouldn't flush, that the pipe was making a lot and water was coming out all over. So I called him and he was like, oh my gosh, you busted my pipes. Oh my God, this doesn't look like it's gonna work out. Maybe we need to find another location. You just got here. Well, as time went on and every time it got cold, the pipes would bust. I did a lot of repairs even though it was his responsibility because I was trying not to get in too much tension with him or get on his bad side because we were also coming up to our first lease, which was the 3-year lease, and I continued to pay him rent and be in the space, and we went at it all the time because he was not willing to give me any heat and I had to be plugging in heaters. I had to move the store. So my challenge was, how can I get another space and I don't have the proper documents that is required for me to move from there, and I had already established a certain amount of clientele in this space. So not having a green card really kind of hindered me from being able to move forward on that level. I started pursuing immigration lawyers. I spent over $5,000. I continued to pursue, figuring who could I trust, what firms were really going to be somebody that's going to really get me results. I needed to be able to be in a better standing situation. I was very intimidated by the judicial system as far as taking him to court to force him to give me plumbing and heating and stuff like that, because they probably would have asked me for a lot of IDs and stuff, you know, to fill out the court forms. Some of the setbacks was my inability to travel, to be more attentive to my parents in Jamaica, because they were retirees and I'm an only child, so I wasn't able to really go down there and deal with their affairs and make sure they were okay. So many times I had to buy them tickets to come to New York, to come and see me, be able to buy them things and send them back home, see that they were okay, that they would get to see my sons. So then eventually I finally found Spar Bernstein. Somebody had told me they heard about it on the radio. And so I said, okay, let me go find out what this is all about. I did a consultation and they explained to me how it works. It took some time, but I knew it's something I had to do. In the passage of processing, my mother got very ill, so I couldn't leave automatically. I had to wait, and during the time of waiting, she transcended, so I didn't get a chance to actually see her before she passed, but I was able to travel to go and prepare for her final resting place, and I did that last year. But at present, since then, I got my card. My green card. I'm very grateful to be an American and to have a business in this country for that many years. I didn't realize how rough it could really be for somebody outside of the United States to come here and even be a citizen of international countries and still go through some serious tribulations. And some of the things I went through with my landlord really opened my eyes, because I said, wow, if I'm running a business and I'm going through these struggles, can you imagine people who are just trying to survive in America without a green card and not even having a business but just trying to get a job, or job conditions, working conditions? It must be really like triple hard, out there, because I'm working for myself. So, I can't imagine what it would be like for somebody who had to, take a job and be under such severe, abusive conditions. So coming to America has really opened my eyes and it's helped me to be a stronger person. And I'm hoping that I can pursue my dreams as a recording artist, and to and a lot of that's in my album. The songs that I write reflect a lot of what I've been through for my years here. Now it seems more reachable, because I think I'm able to be more mobile and to travel around, and that people would take me more seriously because I'm able to leave out of the United States and re-enter and go to different parts of the world. My dream is to have my first album as a recording artist completed and out for the world to hear parts of my journey, to inspire and motivate a lot of people that probably could relate to this journey, and to also tell a lot of people, regardless of what the crisis or circumstances and challenges are, stand firm in your faith, and to be consistent and determined. I'm going into my 19th year at my new location at 782 Nostrand Avenue. And I'm truly grateful to still be a part of this neighborhood and this community. And once again, thanks to Spar Bernstein, who's been very diligently helping me acquire my green card, which I now do have. I'll be able to continue to pursue my ambitions as a recording artist, as a mom, as a store owner, as a community advocate. So, I'm looking forward to putting my album together and just being able to get things on a different level.
All right, let's do 50 seconds, 9 immigration questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
That's what. Can we hear you? If not, I'll go.
Yeah. Here?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, we're good.
Hear me okay, Brad? You guys hear me well?
Yes, but Julian's got to get the clock right. 50 seconds, Julian. Not 53. There. Let's do 49.
Hey.
What the hell? Ready? Let's go. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Can I sue if I already accepted workers' comp?
Yes.
Can I get citizenship 5 years after a misdemeanor with a clean record?
Depends what the misdemeanor is.
Can I reactivate my H-1B visa?
I don't know what that even means.
Do I have to pay to submit an I-130?
Yes, it's a $535
What is
filing fee.
What is the visa bulletin?
That tells you when you're eligible for your green card.
Do you think the B3 visa bill will be passed by Congress?
The B3, I don't know what B3 visa bill is.
Is it normal to have an interview after applying for AOS?
Yes.
Can you file for a green card with your cousin?
No.
Should I bring my spouse to my marriage-based USCIS interview?
You better, or you're not getting through.
Come on.
What was the question, Vanessa? B3?
We have two. Yeah.
A B3?
Yeah.
B1 is a Taurus, B2 is a Taurus. EB3? What is it? Jillian? A joke?
It says B3.
EB3? EB3 is employment-based. EB3 is employment-based, but I don't know what bill he's talking about EB3. There's the Citizenship Act, which is... and
B3 visa. Is B3 visa a
there's,
thing?
there's no such thing as a B3. There's an EB3, but that's employment-based green cards that already exists. Maybe they're referencing. I think what they're referencing is in the Citizenship Act that President Biden had presented, that they are going to make the EB3 category for people from India is backed up about 20 or 30 years, backed up, literally. So they were going to say there was going to be a maximum amount of time that you would be able to wait for your green card in the EB3. They would also get rid of the per country limits. Do I think that's going to pass? I hope it does, if that's what they're referencing. But B3, just the B and the 3, there's no such thing. And then reactivate H-1B, there's no such thing as reactivate H-1B. You're either on an H-1B or you're not. If you're not on an H-1B, you got to reapply for an H-1B. And if you qualify, then yeah, why not? Those are my answers. I would not, if I was going to expand on all of that during our speed round, we would have been kabooey.
We still got it, and we still
got
have
it.
one more day to get the entire week.
That's right.
I'm taking it. I'm taking the win.
We're on a roll.
I'm taking the W.
All right.
I'm taking. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Comments of the day.
Comment of the day.
All right. Bye. Our first comment of the day comes from the Top Cat Tigress 2, Carol, saying nothing can ever, never stop Brad Show Live. It will be running no matter what.
Okay.
You know that, even without Facebook. The next one comes from Ja Love, saying Facebook has been acting up. I can't stand Mark Zuckerberg. That punk stopped sending me notifications for Brad's show on Facebook. Report it. Report it.
By the way, 29 Super C says there's a proposed B3 visa for agricultural workers. It's possible. They have a million different proposals for a million different things. I'll be honest with you, I don't follow every proposal by every congressperson. When I see something that looks possible that it's going to heat up and actually something's going to happen with it, of course I'll read up on it, but I don't read every proposal. I just don't have the time.
Okay. And our third comment of the day comes from Maxine Gowie, saying this show is just so helpful and uplifting to a lot of people, including to me. Thank you, Brad and the squad.
Thank you.
Okay, and our last one from Sangui Samurai, saying Brad and Crew 2024.
All right, why not? All right, everybody. Good job, Vanessa. Good job, Jonathan. Good job, guys in the back there. And ladies. We'll see you all. Oh, by the way, before I say we'll see you all, tomorrow is Pop-Up Friday. So if you don't subscribe to YouTube, you won't know when we're popping up, right? Because we're not going to pop up at our regular time.
You won't know.
It's summer pop-ups on Friday. So subscribe so you get your notification. See you tomorrow. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.